Hey, it's Carrie Woodward from carriesbookcorner.com, and today I am going to tell you and show you all about my top 10 kind of bundles. So if you're looking for just different kinds of themed gifts, then I have a lot to talk about then today with you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. All right, my first bundle is all about puppies. So if you have a little one in your life that maybe is getting a new puppy or just loves puppies, you might consider getting a puppy type bundle. So we have the That's Not My Puppy with the heavy black lines to help them to discriminate one object to the next. These are all touchy-feely books. So great for infants all the way up to 3 and 4 year old. My 3-year-old still plays with the That's Not My books. So there's That's Not My Puppy. Then you could also get them Find the Puppy. So in Find the Puppy, it's a story and the little puppy is hidden along each of the pages, and they would need to find the puppy in each one of the pages. Cute little storybook to go along with the puppy theme. If they're getting a puppy as well, you could get the My First Puppy book. In the My First Puppy book, the veterinarian who actually wrote the story tells the children all about caring for an animal and what getting a puppy is like, and what raising a puppy is like. So it's a very cute little story about taking care of your new little friend. All right, and then we finally have this little activity book called the Cats and Dogs Picture Puzzle Book. So in this one, there's all kinds of kind of Where's Waldo type pages, where the kiddo is going to have all of these little text, these little speech bubbles, and there's tons of questions for all of the items that they're supposed to find on these pages. So 4 perfect little books with the puppy theme. All right, next up, the garden theme. All right, so in our youngsters, for our little ones, we've got the Baby's Very First Finger Trail Playbook Garden. So this one is great because it has all the little finger trails in it. It has some cute flaps in it. The pictures are very vibrant. There's some hole cutouts, so they get to work on some fine motor things as well. Just a fantastic little garden book. Additionally, we have the Garden Sounds book. So there's an on-off switch on the back, and as you are reading the story, then there's these finger trails, and the child finds the sensory patch and gets to listen to the sound. So now we get to incorporate all of these wonderful sounds into their learning as well, all about the garden. If they've still got more questions about the garden, we have the Lift the Flap First Questions and Answers, How Do Flowers Grow? So this one is a flat book all about the process of how flowers grow and what happens to them and how they create more flowers. So this is a cute garden book. And then finally we need fun activities. So this is the Fairy Gardens Magic Painting book. They're going to take that pen, dip it into water, and then color each of the individual pages. So the colors are very vibrant. They're just a lot of fun. It would be a great activity to do on the go as well as at home on a rainy day. All right, next up, for our little ones who just love transportation, we have the 199 Things That Go. This is all about, it's just a little cute book with all kinds, 199 objects of transportation. So as they flip through, they're going to learn all of the pictures that go along with their favorite modes of transportation. Next up, we have the Lift and Look Planes. This is a flat book. It is very thick, sturdy pages, but this one is all about planes. So they can learn all about the different types of planes and lift the flaps as well. This one is one of my favorites. This is Dan the Taxi Man. This is a picture book all about Dan, who is the taxi man, taking all of the members of the band to the show. So it's his story of picking up all of the people in the band and taking them to the show. Another favorite one by Eric Odie is Busy Trucks on the Go, which would also work with the transportation theme. All right, along with that, we have the Baby's Very First Noisy Book, Farm. So when they're really little, they still need these sound patches on the right-hand side of the page so that they can click the buttons and hear all of the transportation kinds of sounds. So this was that. And lastly, for transportation, we have the Big Book of Big Trucks. So this is a big book. It is nonfiction. It is great because you fold it out and these giant pages, the kids absolutely love that. So when you fold it out, there's all kinds of great information. The information is chunked in small bits of information along with the text. The text and the pictures all match up so that retention is better for children at that point. All right, next up in our themes is dinosaurs. I'm sure you all know some dinosaur fans. So this is the Slide and See dinosaurs, and they're practicing the cause and effect of what happens when they move the slides in the book. So there are no flaps in the Slide and See books, just slides and finger trails. So they constantly get to put their fingers all over the book and learn through their fine motor skills. Next up is pop-up dinosaurs. This one is great because the dinosaurs really kind of come to life for the kids as they pop up out of the book. So there's pop-up dinosaurs. If they're not quite ready for pop-ups, there's also the My Very First Dinosaurs book. This one is no flaps, very thick cardstock pages still, but it's all nonfiction and all presenting information about the different dinosaurs that lived long ago. And then lastly, if they're a little bit older and need some additional information, this is the Big Book of Dinosaurs, similar to the Big Book of Machines that we just looked at, but all about dinosaurs. So again, there are 4 sets of fold-out pages in these books, perfect for them to be able to get down on the floor and really engage with the books. All right, let's talk about farms. Farms are very, very popular, and farm animals are very popular for even the littlest of kids. So this is a fold-out book, perfect for ages 0 all the way to 6 months. They're great for tummy time. So you prop these up on the floor, and because they need that black and white high contrast color, they automatically will pick their heads up to be able to see what it is that you have in front of them. So this one is On the Farm. Next up, we have My Farm Animal World. These boxes have a magnetic enclosure so you can open them up, and there are 9 different books in them. So you pull out the books and they look like blocks. So they can stack them, they can read through them, and then when they're done with them, the great thing is they practice their one-to-one correspondence of putting them back into the box the way that they go. Perfect, can teach all kinds of different things, colors, matching, stacking, all kinds of different things you could do with that book. Next up is Baby's Very First Touchy-Feely Farm. So this one is a touchy-feely book, but it incorporates the finger trails. It has some flaps in it. There we go. Has some flaps in it, as well as some touchy-feely soft points as well. So this one has everything in it. Great for kiddos who just want to explore with their hands still. And then about the age of 2, they start developing they're developing their language. So we need to give them some language acquisition books. These are great. This one is my first word book on the farm. So these are all words about things that you would find on the farm. Okay, next up is animals. We have tons of animal lovers. Moms comment all the time about how their kids just love animals. This is the Peek Inside series. This is Peek Inside Animal Homes. So this is a flap book. It's the littlest of our flap book series for ages 3+. Tons of information, but great, great big flaps for them to still get their hands on and be able to find the information in the book. Next up is the Muddle and Match series. In the Muddle and Match series, they're given 3 sections of the book. They create the character that they want to make, and then the story changes on the left-hand side based on the crazy little character that they made. So if they're into animals, the Muddle and Match books are going to be fantastic for them. Next up is Step-by-Step Drawing Animals for a little bit older kiddo. So this one would be for ages 3 or 4+. It's just a step-by-step guide where they also get to put in all of they can draw the information, draw the pictures right on the page itself. So there are no extra pages all over your house of drawings. They get to see how they've improved as they continue to draw. Next up is the questions and answers about animals. So the Q&A books all follow the who, what, where, when, why, and how, and there are just tons and tons of questions on here, lots and lots of flaps about the different animals and what they do and why they do it, and that. So the questions and answers about animals. All right, next up, my very, very favorite, all about Apple Tree Farm. So if you're familiar with Usborne, then you have heard about this particular book. This is the Complete Book of Farmyard Tales, and it comes with a CD and 20 stories in a dual reader format. So in the dual reader format, that means that there's text at the top and text at the bottom, one for the child, one for the adult. Now, all of the stories in this particular book are based off of Apple Tree Farm. And so every single story starts off the exact same. So this is Apple Tree Farm. This is Mrs. Boot, the farmer. She has 2 children called Poppy and Sam, and a dog called Rusty. Okay, so this was illustrated by Stephen Cartwright, so there's a little duck to find on every single page. And then we have a wind-up book, that's Tractor, and it's also based on Apple Tree Farm. So now you can get this book as well, and it gives you additional little stories about Apple Tree Farm. And then it gives you all of these cool little characters from Apple Tree Farm that you can punch out and put up on stands, and then you have the track. And when you have the track, then the tractor comes out, it goes all on, you wind it up, and it goes along the track itself. And you have all these little characters as well, and so you can really make the stories in the book come to life because they're the exact same characters that they just learned about in the Complete Book of Farmyard Tales. Fantastic gift idea for a little one is the Complete Book of Farmyard Tales and the Wind Up Tractor book. Now, if you also like the idea of Apple Tree Farm, you could also incorporate Secrets of the Apple Tree to that gift as well. So Secrets of the Apple Tree is one of our Shine-A-Light books. So in it, it's a nonfiction book. You're going to read the text, and in order to find the answer to the question that's on the page, you have to place a flashlight behind the page to illuminate the answer. So they're all nonfiction. There's all kinds of information about the apple tree in this particular book, and then you shine a light behind to reveal the answers. So very, very cool, very cool books, all nonfiction, but would be a great gift if you were doing like Apple Tree Farm themed. Okay, next up, we have kiddos who are learning their alphabet, their ABCs, their numbers, and their shapes. So the very first one I want to talk about is the Illustrated Alphabet. This is a fantastic gift book. It is a linen-bound book. It's embossed on the front, and it's just an ABC book. So they go through the letters of the alphabet, and all of the words, or not all of the words, but a lot of the words are alliterative, so they're the same. They start with the same letter. So G is for gorilla. The big gorilla wanted green grapes but got garlic. Gosh, he was grumpy. Grrr. M is for monkey. The monkeys made a mess with mud. Who will mop that up? So you can see just fantastic illustrations, just a fantastic gift because it comes in this cool little box. It has the satin ribbon to keep their place. Just a beautiful alphabet gift book. All right, along with that, we have the Lift the Flap Numbers. This is a beautifully done book because it incorporates numbers as well as matching and counting and all kinds of, just all kinds of things, colors. So the Lift the Flap series is not just, this book, because it's Lift the Flap Numbers, is not just going to be about the numbers. It's going to be about so much more that you could do to teach them. The same with Lift the Flap Shapes. So much more than just shapes. You can practice colors, there's matching, there's look and find kinds of concepts in here, there's questions to answer. Just fantastic combination books that help to teach multiple preschool skills. All right. As they are learning how to do their alphabet and they also need to be practicing the writing of it. So there's writing numbers, lowercase letters, and capital letters all in our Wipe Clean series. So these are fantastic because they present a real world example of where you would find that particular letter in real life, and then practice lines down at the bottom. The Wipe Clean writing numbers is fantastic. It does the exact same thing of presenting it in a real world context, as well as going all the way up to number 20, which is a kindergarten readiness skill. Same with the lowercase letters. So you get the lines for practicing, and just a fantastic way to be able to write the letters as well. All right, and lastly for letters and numbers and shapes is the Learning Palette. So with the Learning Palette, when you order it, it comes like this. This is the palette, and then you order these cards. So this one is all on counting, and so there's different cards to do different kinds of things. And so this one we're going to put on here, and it's all about money. So it's counting 1 to 100. So there's 2 quarters here, which would be 50 cents, which is, or 25.50 is counting, I guess. So 25.50, and that is the full red circle. So if I was counting the one that was next, it would go right here, 25, 50, 75. So the child then does this independently. They go all the way around the outside of the circle, and then they flip it over, and then they match up the answers to the chips, the discs that are on the palette itself. And if they are all right, then they know that they got them correct if they match up in color. If it's not correct, then they can take those chips off and try again. So an independent learning practice, and that is very kind of gamey. And so kids absolutely enjoy working with the learning palette because it makes learning more fun and more engaging and more hands-on. So there's that. All right, 2 more sets of books. All right, this one is my fun activity / arts and crafts kinds of thing. So this is the 100 things for little children to do on a trip, and these are wipe clean cards. This is the exact same set. So what I do with them is I hole punch them and I put them on a binder ring so that I have them wherever we go. So there's 50 cards front and back. It comes with a wipe clean marker. We have them for doctor's appointments and for restaurants and anywhere that we go that needs a quiet activity that is not necessarily screen time. So I definitely recommend the activity cards. There's 100 things to do on a trip, animal doodles, and travel doodles left in the catalog. All right, so when you're at home and you want to work on activities, there's the 50 science things to make and do. A cool little spiral bound step-by-step guide to doing all kinds of fun little science activities with different things that you've got at home. So fun little activity book. Next up is the complete book of art ideas. So same concept, where it's spiral bound and tons of step-by-step activities and information about different kinds of art and how to create different kinds of art, as well as craft ideas for creating things at home. So it's a very knowledge-based book, but also still fun hands-on activities. All right, lastly in that particular grouping is the 365 science activities. So just a bit bigger than the 50 things, the 50 science things to make and do, but still very, very much the same concept, where there is 365 science activities, step-by-step instructions, the spiral bound, which means that you can leave it flat on the table and the kids can just follow along step-by-step with the things that they're supposed to be doing. So just a great, great activity book to have on your bookshelf for rainy days or for learning days in your home. All right, and lastly, because we are a nonfiction company, we also have tons and tons of educational supplements. So these are my top 3 educational supplements. The first one is the Children's Encyclopedia. This one is $15.99 and I absolutely adore it. It is internet linked, and so when we say that, that means that the child can go to the Usborne Quick Links website, they can type in the cover and then the exact page number that they're on, and it's going to pull up 4 or 5 checked and okayed websites that are appropriate for kids just on that particular page's information. So just a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of additional research is available online with our internet linked books. Next up is the Illustrated Dictionary of Math. This is just fantastic. It goes through everything from easy arithmetic kinds of things that you would do in elementary school, all the way up to geometry and other high school related, middle school related types of mathematical functions, and teaches you step by step how to help your kids do their homework, or how to help your kids if you're homeschool teaching. All right, and lastly, what's science all about? This one is all about, this one has information all about biology, chemistry, and physics. And so, but it's done in a very, very kid-friendly, in a friendly way. So there's tons and tons of illustrations, lots of kind of backstories as to why those sciences are important and what you learn about in those sciences, but good for a child who maybe struggles with one of those subject areas. For me, it was chemistry. So that is What's Science All About? All right, so that's my top 10 gifting bundles if you are interested in bundling books for the kiddos in your life. Thank you very much for watching, and let me know if you have any questions. Again, you can find all of those books at www.carriesbookcorner.com, and I will see you guys later. Bye.